It's me. Okay. So again, sticky, two-sided to sticky, and all these extra notes and stuff like that. Um, Best episode of Lower Decks this season, and I'm almost willing to say so far in the entire show. We both hold great affection for Deep Space Nine because fuck Voyager and many others. But Deep Space Nine was just ugh. So I'm gonna get started. But I was so going into it, I didn't know that this episode was going to be that. And like, I on purpose don't look things up before I start watching them because I really want to be delighted with what's going on. And this did not disappoint. So this just proved my point why I'm not going to look into anything. We did see the fun little, we did watch, what the hell was the thing before? Where he was like, oh yeah, go around them again. But I did not think that they were going to go in depth. I thought it was going to be still like a very high level kind of whatever. So we'll start at the beginning. There are little notes that I'm also a fucking child with. So like they were talking about the brown hole. Like they were talking about how one of the they couldn't have this team come and do the mediation or whatever because someone was circling a brown hole, and I was like, that's a thing, or are we like just making fun of holes now? Like, I'm a child fucking too. So in my head I'm like, ah, brown hole. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. I squealed with DS9 with them going around it. It was fantastic. And then they did not let up on the squealing because fucking Kira, Nana Visitor, decided to make herself an appearance sounding exactly like she did back then. She didn't sound older, which is great because I was, everybody's getting older, you know what I mean? So like with Picard, when we were watching Picard, parts of it were heartbreaking because, you're so used to Picard having this bass in his voice, and every now and again his age was shown in his voice, and that would kill me a little bit. So I hated that, but, I didn't have that problem in Nana Visitor. Fucking Quark. Like, Armin, whatever his last name is, showed up, and he sounded exactly like he did back then. He could have only, like, his own fucking Ferengi show, and I would be into it. Because he was so fucking phenomenally Quark in this goddamn episode. Like, I feel like he was the star of the episode, if I'm being honest with you. I did have a note where I was like, the wormhole's still there. I thought we closed that thing. Maybe I have to go back and watch the end of Deep Space Nine. But I feel like, didn't we close the wormhole with Kai Wynn? Rest in peace, Kai Wynn. I thought we closed the wormhole. Like, why are we still... whatever. I wasn't too upset. I did giggle out loud. Like, I laughed like I was freaking... I like, out loud as hell when they were like, it's probably something with the wormhole. Like, fuck you. That was literally like every bad guy in all of Deep Space Nine was fucking because of the stupid wormhole. So I did like that little zinger towards it. The guy who played it, his name, he actually is played by Adam Pally, who, I don't know if you ever watched him in anything else, but he's fucking phenomenal. I would watch him in anything that he's in. I also dug the whole, like, I'm Worf kind of vibe that he had going on there, because it was exactly Worf's, it was a hat tip to, like, Worf being, a little too extra in his Klingonness. He's from Cincinnati, by the way. Cincinnati, Ohio. Because then they were talking about, use your Ohio-ness and blah, blah, blah. But I enjoyed him a lot because I just love Adam Pally in general. I did laugh out loud with Mariner's whatever. Because Mariner kept talking about her hell. And I was like, huh. Her hell looks like my hell. I am not comfortable with, like, girly sleepover parties at all. Like, I think I've had, like, 3 my entire life because I'm just not... I don't know what the fuck to do with these. I just don't. And it just seems like hell and awful and judgmental and stuff like that. I did like the fun little Jennifer, whatever. Her being like, I want you to fucking tell these people off. Like, good, because she fucking needs to sack up and do it. You know what I mean? Like, fucking tell these people off. I like her decision is just, let's tase everybody. I loved that we have, again, I know I shouldn't keep pointing this out, but like, I can tell you these things. I do love that we still have, that we have lesbian kissing cartoons. Like, I'm fucking into it. You know what I mean? Like, let's do more of that. That's not, anime. Like, let's do that. Let's normalize that behavior on television in cartoons. You know what I mean? Like, this is life now. Like, let's normalize that. So, completely loved that. I wrote, what else did I write? Oh, the Shax and Kira fighting. It was so fucking, you're right, it was completely on character, but it was also fucking completely Bajoran, where it was totally like, very Bajoran to be like, well, I saved you, well, I saved you, well, I saved you. Because, like, there's that weird sense of, like, honor and bravery and blah, 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 especially with the resistance movement. You made a point about, them knowing each other through the resistance. So here's the deal. I do like that they did that, because in my world, so Kira was like boss bitch for like the Bajoran resistance. So I also imagine that Shax was badass in his own way. And because they both have that personality, I would imagine that they would be fast friends. I imagine that they would fucking have some Bajoran ale and like tell war stories and then forge some kind of awesome friendship in the whole gist of things. I just feel like that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, that makes a lot of sense for it to be like that. So I liked it, and I thought it was whatever. So I struggled a little bit with Kira in this episode, because I don't know if I always did not know if I liked Kira or not. Like, I went back and forth on Kira all the time, because sometimes she was great and sometimes she was wooden. And I was feeling that way in this episode too, where with parts of her, parts of her acting were wooden, and then other parts were like the Kira that I like. Like, every time she'd give Quark a ration of shit, there's the Kira that I like, and then sometimes she's just boring. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I feel like that has not gotten better with time. So that was cool. Quark having all his Quarkness, like the beef with the Karima, whatever their names are. I had to like look them up, because I was like, I know this name. And the moment I looked it up, I found like the dude from the Karma, and I was like, there it is. I remember these stupid people. Quark talking about the Dominion War, I thought that was great. It was weird for him to be like very defensive of who took sides in the Dominion War, because normally he wasn't like that. Like, he was totally like, you know what, whoever gives me money is totally fine by me. But it's interesting. I don't know if it's growth or if it's just a choice that he had some feelings about that. I feel like maybe the Dominion War did have an impact on him, not just from a financial point of view, but also from a whole, like, harming people he cared about kind of way. I don't know. I just feel like it seemed a little out of character if we were trying to remember Quark who he was. And then instead a little bit more in character with the Quark who I think he ended up being. Does that make sense? But I like that we still called that out. The fucking Dabo game. I did like Bold Boimler. But again, I get to the point where, like, I'm like, are we going to still keep doing Bold Boimler? And, like, in this case, I thought it was going to turn out horribly for Boimler with the Dabo table. Whatever. But instead, it turned out that he's like, oh, yeah, I want Ferengi bucks or some shit like that. Like, okay. And then ultimately, I think that when he was like, yeah, we don't have a real concept of money, and the Ferengi, who I feel like was supposed to be a Nom knockoff, because I feel like they had a little bit of, like, his tone of how he talked things. I really feel like it was a Nom knockoff. And when he was like, what? And, like, that's how it ended. Like, okay. And I'm glad that we, again, talked about the whole, like, concept of money doesn't mean anything to us, because what? That's, like, not working out for the Ferengis at all. What else did I write here? I wrote about the Tendi backstory. So I I also enjoyed Tendy's backstory with all of this. I do enjoy that, like, I actually wanted some Tendy backstory because so they're kind of doing something similar with both her and Rutherford, and that they're making them all like sweet and shiny now, but instead they've got these hugely dark backstories. You know what I mean? Like Rutherford being converted into something else, and then Tendi coming from like space pirates, with her robotic Swiss Army knife of badassness, with a tooth extractor. What? So I actually enjoyed that. You know what I mean? Like I liked her. Again, having some badassness to her here. Like that was pretty cool. I kind of want that because I feel like I don't want these characters to be. I like them to be soft, but I don't want them to be taken advantage of or stepped on or whatever. It's like that. I do want them standing up for themselves. I like that part of characters. It's weird in that I like the softness but underlying hardness of Tendi and Rutherford, but I like the hardness, the exterior hardness of Mariner, but the underlying softness. It goes back and forth. Boimler, I'm still on the fence with. If I didn't like the guy who voiced him, I might just be over. Like, he might be like this character with the whole thing. I feel like I like the cat more than the cat and Shax more than I like fucking Boimler at this point, but whatever. What else? I wrote down I would watch a DS9 cartoon. Like, I fucking sure as shit was. This could be a DS9 episode, like you said. I would legit watch, like, I hope you're listening, fucking Star Trek fans, because I would watch the shit out of a DS9 cartoon. And this definitely felt like that, because the good thing about, like, alright, so if we're using Lower Decks, because Lower Decks is supposed to be lighter than, like, normal Star Trek is. And I feel like whenever we have a Ferengi episode in DS9, those were lighter episodes than, like, some of the other heavy shit that has gone on, like the death of fucking, Jax. Yes, Jax. But, like, lighter in nature with what it was doing. So I like that. You know what I mean? Like, let's be lighter with what we're going on. So I feel like we could use who we've got right now, and every now and again, it would be nice to have a little hat tip to some of the other folks. Is Rene Auberjonois still alive? I don't think so. He passed away, didn't he? I don't know. I hope not. I think he did. So I would be totally into it. You know what I mean? Like, I would be very interested in watching that next time, or even like the Ghost of Jax. So that would be interesting. Other small little things. I forgot that Mariner was on DS9 before, or like that she was friends with them. Like, I completely forgot. I guess that was somewhere that she had like trained or something like that. It's like, it's right on like the tip of my brain, but I don't remember it right now. So maybe you can remind me. The rules of acquisition. I forgot about all of the fun, wonderful rules of acquisition. So it was fun to end the episode with a rule of acquisition that was, like, you know, popular and stuff like that. This whole episode was just such a love letter to Deep Space Nine, the way that it needed to be. I want more almost crossovers, if I can say that. And, like, they don't need to do crazy, weird ass things. They just need to do, like, the whole point of this show is a love letter to the fans, like to the geek squad. Don't go ahead and do like dumb, ridiculous shit I don't care about, like, you know, the fighting with the dude throughout the ship for bold Boimler and shit like that. Like, I don't, meh. You know what I mean? I don't want that. I want this. Give me this stuff. Let me dig into this. And last thing that you said. So you said that you love, excuse me, I'm drinking wine right now too, and I don't really drink wine very often, but, like, I found some raspberry blush wine that I haven't had in a really long time, and I decided tonight was going to be a good night for drinking, because you mentioned drinking, and I was like, and then I was cleaning out my bar today, and I realized I bought this, like, 3 months ago, and haven't drank it yet, so here we are. You had talked about competency porn. I also love me a competency porn. Like, that's, I think, why I like Leverage so much. because I like the concept of, like, there's something smart that you did to outwit whoever. To be fair, I also like cleaning porn. Like, show me someone shampooing a carpet and I'm fucking into it. Show me someone organizing their house and I'm fucking into it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm into those kind of things as well. And I'm also into, like, cooking, but not cooking easy shit, cooking difficult things. So, like, I get it as far as that is concerned. That's totally fine. My last thing was, what y'all doing drinking every night like this? Like, y'all got kids. Like, is there something cool going on that I don't know about? Because I would like to know. Because this bitch goes to bed at like 9:30 at 10 o'clock. And if I go to bed later than that, shit sucks the next day because kids do not care if you're tired. So I'm hoping you're having fun. I'm sorry you're hungry. I hope it goes better. So yeah, I really loved Hear All, Trust Nothing. I may go watch it again after I finish this, and then maybe do another episode, do another video if I feel like it. But yeah, it was fantastic, and it was funny, and it was just the right, like I said, it was a love letter to DS9 fans, and that's us. I think you said that they're gonna do another one for... Why can't I ever remember the new Spock one? What the hell? It's gonna drive me nuts now. I'm looking it up. Don't judge me. You're gonna watch while I look it up. Hold on. And you're probably yelling at the Strange New Worlds. There it is. I don't know why my brain cannot remember the freaking name, the title of this show. Maybe it's because we've seen so few episodes of it, I feel like. But yeah, you had mentioned that it's going to cross over with Strange New Worlds, and I would really love that. I want that to come soon, too. And I'm hopeful, as well, that this is the turning point, and that means it's going to stop sucking for Lower Decks going forward, hopefully. Alright, I'm going to go upload this, and probably watch the episode again. Or I'm going to also watch Quantum if I can, either today or tomorrow, and then I'll give you a review for that one, too. I was just holding off on that, because I want to accrue some episodes before I get into it, but in the same token, I kind of want to know what we're talking about. And Rob wants to start watching it too, and I'm like, I don't know what I do, on my own. So, alright, I'll talk to you in a bit. Bye.